Hello, 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 hello. Hey y'all, hey, how y'all doing? Listen, it is me, the Nicole Johnson, founder and CEO of Girl Your Money Matters, which is affectionately known as the gym, where we have all sorts of exercises to help you get financially fit. And I want to come hang out with you guys tonight because I want to share just we're chit chatting tonight. We are chit chatting tonight. I'm going to be talking to you about some of the comments and questions that I've received over the past couple of weeks during the month of financial literacy, and just give you some insight as to what's happening over in here, what I call my lab. So this is the cute part of the lab. Some of y'all got some of this part of the lab at your house. But listen, dealing with your money leads to you also dealing with what I would call other parts of your life that are out of whack. And so that's why tonight's episode is called Stress, Strain, and Money. There is a lot of stress and strain when it comes to your money, and anxiety that a lot of people are feeling. We are in, we've got global crisis, we have international crisis, we have national crisis, and then we have crises that are hitting very close to home, um, with our loved ones, our family, our friends, people in our community. And then we have things on our job. Uh, yeah, listen, I'm speaking all my personal business. This right, look, hold on. Let me go and do this now. I'm speaking all of my personal business right now. So you listen, ain't nothing wrong with my fan. My fan looks good. Um, but a lot of us are going through one thing or another. And what I want to talk to you about tonight is how do you deal with that stress, that strain, and how does it impact your money? You know, we're all things financial here. And so this is one of the reasons that we talk a lot about having your safety net, your cushion of coins put aside so that when you need to take an unexpected or an unplanned break, you can say yes to that. And everybody doesn't have that cushion, but it is so important to have it on standby because you never know when you might need it. Okay, so let's just keep it real. Are we having some strains, right? There's been a lot of loss in people's families. There's been a lot of confusion over I've had a lot of questions and confusion about public student loan forgiveness. And the one thing that I can tell you is that when you start looking at the finances and the goals that you have set for your life, your student loans can have a direct impact on that. Okay. It fluctuates with the attention that student loans have attracted over the past few years. So there have been different moves in our legislature as to how student loans can affect your finances, your financial portfolio, and how it can lessen how the negative impact can be lessened for a lot of us. And so it was amazing, amazing, absolutely wonderfully amazing for me to open this letter that told me that $159,000 worth of student loan debt has been forgiven. Let me say that again. Almost it's closer to 160 because 159, 812, and 93 cents. So let's just say 160 grand gone. Bye bye. It went away. And it came at a time where I had specifically just told the lady that helps with that's in the mortgage industry, I'm gonna wait about another year. Let the market continue to do what it's doing, and then I'm gonna be ready to buy a house. The impact that $159,000 of debt, I'm sorry, $160,000 worth of debt has on my credit profile, my debt to income ratio, right? But we do also have some people who did not have that service, or they're still waiting. They're trying to figure out what to do while they're going through that process. So I'm going to talk a little bit about public student loan forgiveness in a moment, but want to focus more on the stress and strain that our money that we place when it comes to our finances, that it happens within us. Okay, which is why I spend a lot of time talking to you about all things financial, all things impacting your money and how you handle it, because it's a relationship. It is absolutely a relationship that you must have with your money, so that you don't find yourself in situations that are called where the situations that are happening around you and to you don't stress and strain you out. It's got to be a because the even though the situations and the circumstances are going to fluctuate, you cannot afford to. You cannot afford to fluctuate, and so that is why building the savings is important. So over in the actual community, where we have all of our gym fanatics over there getting financially fit, we are working on our upcoming challenges. One is specific to saving coins, and the other is specific to um, the envelope challenge. And those are challenges that we will continue to repeat throughout the year, because what I understand is that sometimes a lot of us are in positions where we have to start small. We have to start small. And starting small, please do not despise small beginnings. Do not despise small beginnings. So here's what I want you to do. If you are looking for some support, let's start with a task. I want you to go over to the NicoleJohnson.com, and you can download the 10 tips document, and that will get you started immediately with some small steps that you can implement right now to help you with your finances. It's going to help you increase your savings, decrease your expenses, and get you in the habit of starting to save. And over in the community, you can also join us there on Facebook at Girl Your Money Matters, where we are doing the various challenges that are going to challenge you to start creating the habit of savings. If you do something over and over again, it becomes a habit. Whether it's a good habit or not, it's the task that you choose to do, right? So even if you are participating in a challenge and you're saving your coins in a jar, or you're doing the envelope challenge and you're like, I'm only putting $1 in, I'm only putting $5 in, I'm only putting $10 in, and then you give up, that's not a bad habit. That's a bad habit. That's not a good habit, because if you don't continue to do that, then you're not establishing a habit no matter what the amount is. Because when the money changes and the money grows, all you have to do is change the amount of the deposit, not start from scratch of creating the habit. Because then that usually comes at a stressor, or a situation where I haven't been saving at all, so now I'm just spending, 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 spending. Okay, so I want you to join us over in the community group, so that you can start creating the habit of saving no matter what the amount. It's the habit that's important. Okay. Some of the other questions that I have received about the public student loan forgiveness program is it too late? Okay, so first of all, the public student loan forgiveness program has been going on for years. It's been happening for years. It is designed to help people who work with nonprofit organizations, government agencies that serve the public, and other corporations and entities that work specifically, nonprofit organizations that work specifically with serving the public. And the goal is designed to help us only pay a portion of our student loan debt, because the government understands some of those contracts that were written were given and provided to young adults who didn't know any better. And over the years, the interest that has compiled on top of that money has done nothing but a disservice. Now, we won't even talk about whether or not you're using your degree, whether you graduated or not. All of those things are not relevant to the point of the program. That's not relevant. Because I hear people say all the time, they can come get these degrees back. No, they can't, because your name is on them. You still got the degree, right? Whether you're using it or not, that part doesn't have an impact on the financial portion, okay? Um, but some people took out more loans than what they needed, and some of it was due to circumstances at that time. Some of it may have been through lack of knowledge. Whatever the case may be, the debt is still here. That's the bottom line. And so, what we want to do is, if you are in those organizations in which the government has classified them as an organization that serves the public, then you can absolutely apply for public student loan forgiveness. There's also for teachers, teachers can also apply for public student loan forgiveness under a special program for teachers. And I want every teacher out there, every educator out there to fill out that form and that paperwork. Okay, fill out that form and that paperwork and get it in. So what is too late? What is too late is the public student loan limited waiver. That period has expired. If you turned in the limited waiver, use the limited waiver tool that was being pushed throughout 2022, if you did anything with that, they are still reviewing requests. Mine was done October, beginning of submitted beginning of October. I got a confirmation mid-October that they had received it and it was in the works. And this was the end of March, beginning of March, beginning of April, that I finally got my final letter that said my loans were forgiven. So they are still um in review with what, all the applications that they received. Now, can you still turn in a public student loan forgiveness program form? Absolutely, you can. Absolutely, you can. And then you can get on any of those approved income sensitive repayment plans so that they can tell you how many of your payments are literally adding up to this 120 quota, and then the rest can be forgiven. Is it a complicated process? It's really not. I think for me, the hardest thing was making sure that I got those renewal forms, the certification forms, when it was time to certify after 12 months, keeping up with that information. And once you do that, as long as you keep that up, so you get on a income sensitive or a repayment plan, and it gets down to whatever amount, and you stay on that for 12 months, you do that year after year after year, those 10 years actually will go by faster than you think. The goal is to ensure that you are staying on top of the recertification to have those things forgiven. Is it possible? I am definitely a witness to it, to a testimony to yes, it can be done and it will be done. Um, Even with the remaining loan that I do have, um, those payments, if you saw me a few weeks ago when I made the announcement, the payments on that plan, on that loan, are 22 cents a month. What you say? Okay. And I have 89 remaining payments on that plan, but I can only pay them up 12 months at a time. So for the next 7 years, 7.5 to be exact, years, provided the Biden administration's they don't allow that program that he's trying to put through, where every person receives $10,000 or $20,000, up to $20,000. That $10,000 will take care of that remaining loan. So the goal is to make sure that you are following the procedure, filling out the paperwork, staying on top of your certification, and whatever the situation is, to not allow stress and strain regarding your money to cause anxiety. I think over the last couple of weeks, I've been getting a lot of questions about that, and the underlying issues are always about I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. It's prom season. Graduation is coming up. So I understand that. I had two go through those seasons, 4 years apart, but two just the same. And it was nothing like in 1990 when I went through it. Okay, it's the stuff that I've seen and the prices I've heard. I'm like, ooh, say what now? Okay, your girl can't get with that. So, stress and strain. Money will stress and strain, will stress you out, will strain you, will cause anxiety, and it doesn't have to. The goal is to always ensure that you are putting a plan in place, okay? Putting a plan in place and ensuring that that plan works for you. So this is a good time for me to take a station break and welcome DJ Tony to our stream tonight. What's up, DJ?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, how
Nothing
y'all
but how
doing?
you doing?
Hanging in there on this 420. It's
Listen,
420.
listen on E420s, E420s. Listen,
Yes, indeed.
we're talking about how money can cause you stress and strain. Um, and a lot, this is a season, right? Yes, or Tuesday was the tax deadline. So you have a lot of people still going, oh my gosh, I still ain't found my taxes, or I found my taxes, I ain't doing right. Or I just look, I let them borrow my children and I shouldn't have. Or listen, or
Yeah,
I
they got
borrow some children and I shouldn't have.
right. They got an answer for that. Got an answer for that.
That's the answer for that. So, but we are grateful for this platform here at the Brownstone Worldwide and KCCR Radio, where we are using this platform to change the narrative for our Black and Brown community. And so, Tony, before you got here, I was just talking about how people could still take advantage of the public student loan forgiveness program, and how they got to really follow the instructions and take it, fill out the paperwork. I can remember a long time ago, I don't know where I first heard it, but I probably was in high school when I heard the saying, or the saying that if you don't want black people to know something, put it in a book.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was like,
Yeah,
wait, say, I'm sorry, say that again. say that
yeah.
one, say that one more time for me, not the people in the back, for me. 'Cause I don't think. Let me put my glasses on so I can hear that a little better. What you had said?
Oh Lord.
So, when you hear things like that, um, but the unfortunate part, Tony, is that in everyday environments, I see where it's the first thing that people do is they rather ask questions for help versus do their own research and say, "Well, I looked for this, I looked here, I looked there, but I wasn't able to find it. Can you assist me with, or at least point me in the right direction?" And you have a lot of people that just want the immediate answer versus learning it for themselves. And that's an unfortunate thing that happens in our community. Um, and we get to a point where, how do we change the mindset of our people, right? How do we change the mindset? So then, that is why, we talk here a lot. We share a lot, but I want people to understand that when we start talking about your money, you have got to be in a situation that, even though the circumstances around you and the things that happen to you, those may fluctuate, those may go up and down, but we as the individual cannot afford to be off balance like that. It happens. And so, what are some of the things that we can do to keep from being off balance and continue going through that cycle? So, for me, one of the things that has been happening, I've been getting a lot of rest, a lot of rest. And setting boundaries. Over the past couple of weeks, I work a full time job, and they've been, hey, we need somebody to stay. We need somebody. Mm-mm, no, deuces. When I do stay, it's not for the It may not be for the number of hours that they would want me to stay. It would be for the number of hours that I'm willing to sacrifice. That's your word, sacrifice. You're muted, Tony. You're muted.
Yeah, you got to be willing to sacrifice. And
Yeah.
I'm streaming, chilling in the gym on Twitch TV. So, salute to King Roy for tuning in on Twitch TV. Uh,
Hey, Twitch.
yeah, yeah,
What's
yeah.
going
We got
on over there on the Twitch?
girl. We just got through. I just got through doing a 420 show, and my buddy DJ Smoking Lou streamed it live. I was on Spreaker. He streamed it live through Twitch. And man, we had it rocking in there for a little while. So yeah,
Listen, Tony, listening to music. My mom, when we grew up, Saturday morning by 7 o'clock on Saturdays, what was we doing? Up doing chores, cleaning the
yep,
whole house from top to bottom. Everything smelled
yes.
like pine sol and
Pine Sol,
fledge.
yep.
Pine
Comet,
sol and
Comet in the
fledge, comment,
bathroom,
bleach.
yep. Bleach, yep.
But
And
you
on
know
them
what we
rare
would do?
occasions, that ammonia.
The ammonia.
On
That was
them
my
rare occasions,
grandmama thing. My mama
yeah,
didn't use it. My mama was a bleach woman, but my grandmama would pull that ammonia out and be like, "Oh Lord,
oh
we she about to
Lord,
choke me to death up in here."
mm-hmm.
But you know what we were doing it to? Motown music.
Yes,
Smokey and Diana Ross
yes,
and all of
yes.
my kids
Temptations,
know all of that. So you
man.
don't really pay attention that you've been mopping the same spot for like the past 10 minutes, grooving grooving to those songs. So honestly, music is a calming, um, something that calms the spirit, and smooths the grooves with the soul. Um, and depending on the outcome that I want, it determines the music that I listen to.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
early in the morning when I'm just trying to the um set the atmosphere
I,
for the day,
there you
might be
go.
yeah, you probably gonna find I'm listening to some kind of gospel music,
Oh man,
right?
I start my day off with Yolanda Adams, "The Still I Rise." Yes,
Oh,
every morning. Thank you, Jesus.
I
Still.
like Alabaster Box.
Oh yes, yes.
Okay. And then I go into some My Redeemer. And then I'll do a little bit of Tasha Cobb. He
Ooh,
knows my
girl, give me
name.
the preaching up in here, girl, cause you know I'm a DJ. I got some cuts. I got some cuts that'll make you just start breaking out in worship.
I like some Mary Mary.
Yes.
One of the song about thank you, where it could have been me outdoors. Yeah, see, and every time I hear that song, I think about the fire that we experienced.
Mm-hmm.
And so that emotion and those tears and all of that stuff starts coming back. Now about 10:30, 11 o'clock, I'm ready to hit it. Okay.
Right.
So now
Right.
we didn't took a break. Now we got a little smooth groove. I might throw on some agony and ecstasy. I
Yeah.
might throw
Yeah.
on a little Rick James, a little
Yeah.
bit of
Yeah.
that, a little bit. Now by after lunch, I need to make it through this last hour, last 2 hours.
Yep.
Listen here, listen. Ain't no telling what you might hear
I'm
on
telling
that
you.
one. You might hear some little Kim, some big and small.
Oh, I'm trying to
By,
make it.
by the so the transition throughout the day, right? keeps my mind going and it keeps my energy up, depending on, like I said, the mood that I'm trying to set, the atmosphere I need to have. But the one thing, the overall theme is no stress. No stress, because in our community, stress kills at an alarming rate.
I'm telling
I think at one point, Tony, I was not, it was concerning to me to know that people in my class at 47, 48, 49 were gone because of heart attack,
you. Mm-hmm.
stroke, different health conditions that I'm like, they didn't even see 50, so it is concerning. And then you turn around and you add the stress of money issues on top of
Uh,
that. When
uh,
I start thinking about, some of the issues that are stressing us out, we have control over.
mm-hmm.
We have control over. What do you think about that?
You are absolutely right, because stressing over money will cause you an ulcer. It'll give you an ulcer. I'm telling you. It will, man, it will have you so discombobulated to where, man, I'm telling you, when you stop taking care of your health internally, then that's when you start catching a whole lot of problems.
Yeah,
You feel me?
yeah,
So you got to be on top of that.
yeah. And the thing about it is we know this. That's the bad part, Tony. Our people know this. It was different in, let's say, our grandparents, maybe even our parents, where health issues, health concerns, they weren't talked about a lot in our community. Today is no excuse. You see all type. We have all sorts of influential people that look like you and me in the medical industry, and they're out here pushing for us to get our health checkups, our health screenings, to not eat this, not eat that, plant based, some kind of health, get healthy in your life, screenings for cancer and all sorts of things that were not available to our grandparents and our parents. So when you look at, there are things that we can do to offset some of the stress in our lives, and we're not. We're
That's
not.
because
So
that's because many choose not to, for
yeah,
certain taboos that they might have with the medical field. You know what I'm saying? So it's a it's a mental state from the get go. Cause once that seed get planted up there, nah, I got a mistrust with doctors. Cause I can go back to the Tuskegee thing, and I can understand why black men don't want, that guinea pig shit, So, but as we grow older, we know our bodies change. Now, a lot of us choose not to go that plant based because, man, I've been eating meat all my life. Ain't nothing wrong with me. You want me to give up my pork chops, my
who
chicken?
Tony? Wait a minute, hold up. I made pork chop for
See,
lunch.
girl, look here. See, great minds think. See what I'm talking about? And you want now? See, a lot of us stuck on that. Like it ain't like I don't want to. It's just that, man. This is what I love. Now
But yeah,
I
you
go
can
to the
see.
gym to try to lose a few of them pounds. I will. That's on me. That's on me. I tell my doctor, look, that's on me. You dig? If I
But
if I want to
something.
eat a plant, look, if I want to eat a plant, don't you think my creator would have made me a rabbit or one of them animals that's supposed to eat plants? I'm a human.
Right. A
You did, but
carnivore.
a carnivore, but to each his own. I'm not knocking you people or vegans or none of that. Me, myself, but
I
you know
think
what
what we
threw
need
me?
to do is learn moderation.
Right, you know what threw me about all of that from growing up was
What is
tofu.
it?
That tofu. That tofu made me not want to even mess with nothing. No more trying to come up with trying to be healthy. You feel me? So that's why I got a disdain for it, cause I got tricked into trying that, and I never do it again. And if you ain't never tried, don't.
What you say, Tony? They ain't missing nothing.
You ain't missing
Not
nada,
a thing.
nada.
I'm
You
like, how,
know,
tofu.
yeah.
I don't. It's not even. They're not even words to describe tofu. First of all, I don't want to eat anything that sounds like feet. Tofu.
Tofu.
And
You know,
it might just
that
be.
sound like athletics foot, don't it? Toe with the fungus. I'm just saying,
It's
you
not
know,
something I want to sit down and have a plate of. Let me say
right,
that.
right.
So, and I get that. And even with, there are a lot of things that as a child, my mom didn't cook.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, Healthy food is expensive.
Thank you.
It's expensive. It's
Yeah,
expensive to eat healthy.
yeah.
And so, was it cheaper to take three children, four children to McDonald's? It was a whole lot cheaper. And even as an adult, I'm looking at, wait a minute, and I done been to the store three times on this healthy stuff. When I want to eat the junk food, it don't cost that much,
Thank you very
right?
much.
Okay,
Hey, boss
$12
lady.
over here for a drink, where that same $12 give me a whole meal over here. You talking about eggs costing 12, 13, $14. Hey, Paulette, you talking about eggs costing how much? For 12 of them. I can remember when dozen eggs was $1.
99 cents.
Now you talking about $9 for the same dozen eggs.
Girl, please.
What kind of chicken we got?
Listen, that chicken got to come home with me. For
Right, and I
nine,
don't want his eggs. I'm gonna eat the
no.
chicken. I'm gonna have some chicken,
Thank
deep
you.
fried, laid to the side.
You ain't got to worry about laying no more eggs. No more. For nine
So it
dollars.
is. So, in trying to eat healthy has become quite costly and expensive. Okay. So, you do have to weigh the cost as
Mm-hmm.
far as, what it is. But as an adult now, okay, I know I can't eat fried food every day. Right. I know that actually I only eat it every once. I have to have that real taste for it to eat it every once in a while if I'm cooking it. So then the
Right.
strain becomes, okay, let's get that dining out budget in order to determine, what we're doing. And so as we are approaching in the middle of who, it depends on who you ask. We either are approaching a recession, we're in a recession, we might be on our way out of recession. It just depends on who you talk to. It depends
Yep.
on who you talk to.
That's a coin
But
flip.
even as that is the case, we have to make better choices and things. Look at things as what's more affordable. What is affordable? So our health comes into under question and under fire, and then it's okay. What's more affordable for me and a family of three versus a family of seven to eat? So you got to look at it like that. You don't find a lot of deep freezer stuffed in stock like Big Mama's was back in the day.
Right.
Right? You don't find a lot. Matter of fact, some of the young folks they don't even own a deep freezer. They don't even know what a deep freezer is.
Nope.
Okay, let's tell the true shame, all of them.
Yeah, for real.
So we are experiencing financial stress and strain. We are experiencing life happenings, stress and strain. Okay. Some of us who are still dealing with building a business, some of us are dealing with employers and employment, whether or not we're going to have employment come tomorrow, because we are also in a day and times when corporations are laying off. So I like to compare where we are now and how do we relieve or prepare to relax our stress and strain with our money is during that time that it's a feasting in your life. You're working, money is coming in. You got to start storing and stocking something so that when the famine hits, you won't be on that emotional, financial roller coaster because you haven't prepared. Okay. You don't want to be in that situation. So, like I said, over in our community, we are going to be preparing for upcoming coin challenges. And I told them that the 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 parameters are going to be a little different. Okay, it's not just going to be posting in a group. It's going to be a little bit more intimate and one-on-one with communication with me, because I find that a lot of them get started and they don't finish. They don't finish the race. So make sure you join us in Girl Your Money Matters community group so that you can have the support you need to start being consistent. Helping you helps me, and it helps our community grow together, grow in reaching these financial goals, so that we can not only see the testimonies of one person saying, I saved $1,000, or I saved $5,000, or I saved $100, and I saved $500. We're all going to be able to celebrate those accomplishments. And then if you also need some help, you can go right over to thenicolejohnson.com, download the 10 tips guide that you can start implementing immediately. Okay, I like that word, immediately and most expeditiously.
See, them words come from encyclopedia.
See, they couldn't put that away from me. I had to read that.
Yeah, yeah.
So that you can go ahead and start implementing things in your life right now and quickly, so that you can start seeing more of your money stay inside of your household versus wondering where it went. So, DJ Tony, tell us what's going on in the city of Chicago. You guys got a new mayor out there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Congratulations to Brandon Johnson on
You
his
know that's my son's name.
yeah, yeah, on his win, he in my opinion he ran a well balanced campaign. He stuck to his guns, which is what I liked about him, Uh I know a little bit about him and his background, and where he's at right now. So, congratulations to him on that. As far as the city of Chicago, our youth are just losing their mind. They this past weekend when we had that 80-degree weather, they went downtown and just showed their natural ass. I mean, tore it up, jumped on some tourists and everything. So yeah, that's still going on in the news right now. You know,
Tony, when I was there, when I was home, it was nothing to hop on the bus, ride down the State Street, and be downtown from the time you got there at 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, and be there to almost 8, 9 o'clock in the evening.
them days are
From
gone.
Buckingham Palace, Buckingham Fountain, all the way
All the
up
way
and
to
down
Navy
State
Pier.
Street, Michigan
Yeah,
Avenue,
all
in
the
the
way to Navy Pier.
park.
Yeah, them days are long gone now. Are
Wow.
long gone. So he's walking into a real serious mess. I know Lightfoot is so glad she on the way out, cause boy, she was catching the flux. Believe you
Well,
me.
from what I could tell, she wasn't doing a good job while
Well,
she was there.
she had other agenda, and that's her shit. You know what I'm saying? That's her stuff. She can handle it all now, personally, cause she ain't, But we got a lot of work ahead. We got some positive brothers that's trying to get these people to release some of these funds so we can start opening up some mental health and some facilities where they can go and uh, vent that steam out. In a correct, positive type of
Appropriately.
way. You know what I'm
Correct.
saying?
Correct. And get some
Build,
help.
yeah, some computer labs, some mental health things. Let them talk to some counselors, all that there. Some one-on-one mentorship programs and stuff of that nature. The funding is there. It's just these politicians won't let it go. You know, and
Mm.
I know why. It's a election coming up.
And if I remember correctly, Brandon is the second black mayor of the city behind Harold Washington.
behind Harold, the first, second true black man. I say it like that, second
You
true.
know what? I just
Because no, on the serious chick, I remember we had that substitute after after Harold that wasn't in there for that long.
who was that?
Man, I forget his name. I forget his name. He was the brother. He was in there.
Was
Was it Sawyer or something like that? What? I can't think of it right now. But he came. He came in for a minute. He was a substitute. He's a substitute right after Harold. Right after Harold Patty. It was another brother. He wasn't in there long. He wasn't in there long. I can't remember his name right now. But if you Google it and research, you'll
I'm
see what I'm talking.
looking.
You'll see what I'm talking about. It was another brother right after Harold. He wasn't up in there. I think his name was Sawyer.
Eugene Sawyer.
Eugene
That's right.
Sawyer. Okay.
That's right.
Okay. See, I know. I remember. So that's why I say, supposed to be. I live in this city, boy. I keep up with that mess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eugene Sawyer. Wow.
A lot of people don't know that. Really, a lot of people don't know that.
Well, you know what? He wasn't right after. Okay, according to this, David Orr was so Harold Washington was the 51st.
Right.
David Orr
David
was the
Orr was 50.
52nd.
Right. And
Eugene
then
Sawyer was the
Sawyer was
53rd.
okay. I forgot about Orr. I forgot
And
about
then
Orr.
Mayor
Yeah.
Richard Daley
And
came
then Daly
behind.
came in, and after the boss, it was over. You dig? It was over after the boss. Bam.
Woo!
You know. So
Wow.
yeah. That's a little Chicago history that a lot of people didn't know. You got it from two Chicago people. Nine and nine and nine nine nine.
But so I think since I've left, they've one of the big things that I loved about the city was the Taste of Chicago with the ending on the 4th of July and the big fireworks display.
Fireworks.
So now it's no longer like that anymore.
It's
They,
cut down. It's cut down. It went from the remember we used to have that was a 10-day event. The Taste of Chicago, it was a 10-day event. Now they cut it down to 4 days. It's 4 days, and it's certain days that they allow certain things. Oh, it's totally different right now. That's because of all the violence. You know, that's because of all the violence. Things have changed, man. Sometimes I truly feel like I'm living in Sudan or Beirut.
wow.
Because it's hard trying to navigate through this maze called life here in the city of Chicago. And that's on any side, north, south, east, or west.
Yeah.
It's just gone crazy. You
And
know.
so when we talk about, so let's look at it from the other side. We want to see Black Wall Street come back, right? We want to see a community of us, for us, by us. But then when you start looking at a major city like Chicago that is full of us and the violence that is continuing to happen and spread and be uncontrolled, you're like, okay, I want us with the exception of.
Hmm.
Mm, mm,
Separate, yet
mm,
still unequal.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it's times when I'm all for that. I tell people all the time. You know what? For all of them people who want to be so-called this and that, this and that, this and that, load them all up. You know, just load them all up and say we got a spot where y'all can do all of that you want to do. If you
Over
make
there.
it, we'll bring you on back and we'll help you. You know what I'm saying?
But do it over there.
But do it over there. You
Yeah.
know, do it over there.
Yeah. I remember saying that about, as a criminal justice major, and you have different discussions inside of class about, the overpopulation of prisons and things of that nature. And I'm like, you know what? Find one of these islands that's, it's not inhabited. Drop them off there.
Yeah.
Let them do whatever. We ain't got to pay for that. We can pay for the flight over.
That's
And then
it.
we'll come back and pick the one person up that's still standing. We'll do something with that one.
Oh yeah,
Be,
he gonna be really rehabilitated. We ain't gonna have to worry about that one. That's gonna be the one that say I should have never listened to them fools
Survivors at its best.
at his best.
Okay?
Yeah.
Survivors at its best. But it is, it's hard. Um, when you're looking at how can we grow as a community of people, how can we start making sure that we have things in place to, consistently relieve our stress and manage our money and our finances better when you're dealing with all the outside circumstances, the inside family circumstances, the things that are happening around you and to you, and keep your sanity. It's
You,
hard. It is very
no,
hard.
no,
So
but what you do is you continue to walk by faith and not by sight.
come
See,
on, man.
see now
Listen.
I know it's hard. Everybody go through hard times. Them trying times come for a reason, and they come from the Creator. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I trip with people, when they go through a hard time. I say, man, y'all left out that part in the Bible where it say, count it all joy. Count it all joy. Because it's going to serve a purpose. You feel me? It
You
just don't
know,
feel good.
it
You,
doesn't.
it don't feel good, but it's going to serve a purpose.
So it's something when you say, as Paulette says, a nap relieves stress and a glass of wine. she
All
said,
day long.
she said,
And a
preach
blunt
for
if you
Jesus.
puff.
When does it stop? So I'm gonna say this because I caught both a song, a reel, and then Joel Osteen's message. It touches on exactly what you just said. And the question Paulette is asking, when does it stop? Right? When we think about the fact that Jesus went to the cross blameless, the
Not
cross
us.
he carried.
Honest.
When I tell you, Mel Gibson's movie, I've watched it twice. I could never watch The Passion of the Christ again. I can't get through the opening scene.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can't get through the opening scene. The Jim, and I never could say his last name. The actor who played Jesus in that movie was physically injured multiple times throughout the filming. Okay, um, when I think about all the things that happened to him just on the road that he carried that cross and to the cross itself, the nailing of his hands and feet.
The piercing
When
of
I
the side. You feel what I'm saying?
thorn, the
Man.
thorn. Can you imagine? I pluck my fingers and thumbs on some rose, the thorns on some roses, and be like, I can't imagine having a whole thing around my head, and then they
Crush that.
pushed it down so tight that the blood just started. I can't imagine that.
Yeah.
The man who never sinned, never did anything wrong, but that's not how the story ends.
No.
That's not
No.
how it ends. For him to go down in the depths of hell and conquer it and then ascend to heaven with all power in his hands. The
Mm-hmm.
things that I go through don't even compare to what he did to sacrifice for us to
Nothing
still
but
have relationship and be saved
man.
by his grace, right? So if these are the little things that I have to experience, and mind you, what you go through, Tony, Paulette, what you go through, what Nicole goes through, is something he allowed in our lives. And we don't all go through the same thing.
Mm-mm.
Some of your experiences are different, Paulette's are different, mine are different, because something You have different strengths, I have different strengths. And so he allows it because he knows what he's done and put in us. And we all got different gifts and talents. So but the community together, we're stronger. We're stronger together. We're stronger in numbers. So when Tony is feeling bad and Paulette is feeling bad, they have community of people that they can lean on and talk to. When things aren't going right or as planned, they have people that they can talk to, right?
Right.
So it is so important, as I always tell you, to have a good circle of people around you. You have to have, and not a circle that's gonna be like, yeah, 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 yeah. No, that circle's gonna tell you the truth. Paulette done
Right.
told me some hard truths. I done told her some hard truths, ma'am. The lies you telling yourself, and she be like, ma'am, the lies you telling yourself. Be
Hmm.
like, ma'am, I don't want to hear this. It don't matter if you want to, you gone. You
Yeah.
gotta have people that'll do that for you, so that we can grow and get better. So Tony, I appreciate you and Paulette hanging out in the comments and you being here as always. Tonight I just wanted to talk to the people.
Yeah.
I didn't have a specific topic or anything. We always do talk about stress and strain, how money is impacted and how we impact our money one way or the other. But I just wanted to talk, because I hear the questions that come in my email, my inbox, and all this kind of stuff. It is a lot going on.
Oh yes.
And I really want people to understand I may not be able to help you with everything that you have going on, but I know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. Yeah. Mm. You too, Paulette. I know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody.
Then I know
Somebody in
somebody.
another, yeah, they know somebody. And
Yeah.
they might even know somebody too.
We here to help.
So,
Damn it, we
Tony,
here to help.
listen, I think we got another topic to jump on. And they're
Yeah.
gonna start for you so messy.
A
Oh, you
girl, look, look. He
so
sent me the link. He sent me the link.
messy.
You know,
Oh, you so
I,
messy.
and it's 422, man. He sent me the link. Boss lady, he sent me the link on 420. I'm finna,
So
I'm,
Tony, before you get all excited to go over there and be messy, go ahead and say something to the people before we go. As
well,
I let laugh at me. Any last word?
any last word? Yeah, I love it when she say that. Thank you, little sis, for sending me the link to invite. I was like shocked when you say I decided to go on. I was like, but her told me, well, I'm coming. I don't get, cause I was like I say, I was on Twitch with DJ Smoking Lou. He had me streaming my show, so it was like instant. Leave from there, come up over here. Leave from here, go up over there. So. But anyway, thank you for being on. I love it. I love it when you come on. I love helping my queens here at the Brownstone because man, at the Brownstone, this is the place where we are changing the narrative of how we tell our stories our way. So listen, if somebody tell you something and it strike a nerve in you, just know that it was struck in love and you need to work on that so it don't strike you like that no damn more. You know what I'm saying? I love y'all, man. I love y'all. Our way. That's right, Paul. That boss lady. We telling it our way. Can't nobody tell it better than us. They
Tell
gonna.
them. Now, Tony, you got to tell them the one last thing you always say.
Oh well, I got to say this for the end though. You know, uh, for the rest of this day, I want each and every one of you to first of all hug and kiss the person that you with right now. Tell them that you love them and cherish the moments because truly we are all we got, and I mean that.
Yes, yes. Words of wisdom, perspective as all. And I appreciate you being here. Um, you know, Life is going to life. Every day that you open your eyes, life on life. Whatever it is, good, bad, ugly, indifferent, whatever it is. But you have to be grounded enough so that you might bend, you might, do a little turn and a
Hmm.
little swerve, but you
All that's
don't
gonna happen,
you
but you
don't
don't break.
break. You don't break. You may get weary, but you don't give up. That's the thing. We can't give up. And I want you guys to make sure that you're doing something every day to help your money grow. A little bit a little bit at a time is fine, but then we keep doing it over and over and over so that we build it bigger and better. So make sure that you go over to thenicolejohnson.com, download the 10 tips guide, something that you can implement right away, and then go on over to Girl Your Money Matters over there on Facebook so that you can join a community of like minded people so that you can start getting financially fit. I love you guys all day, every day, and there is nothing that you can do about it. So I hope that you will come back and join us on Monday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on Girl Your Money Matters, affectionately known as the gym, where we have all sorts of exercises to help you get financially fit. I am D. Nicole Johnson. I'll see you next time.
Peace.
Bye.